Hey everybody, Don Alder here, your friendly neighborhood acoustic guitar player, and I'm here today to talk about this new amplifier from Elite Acoustics. It's called the D4-8, quite an amazing little rig. I'm going to read some notes in a second, but in general aesthetics, you have an 18-pound amp, very portable, very beautiful looking. As you can see, a nice beautiful wood plywood covering to it. That's nice smooth round edges, very good screen for protecting the speaker. And speaking of speaker, it's got an 8-inch speaker with silk dome tweeters. So aesthetically, very cool, very portable. And what's very unique about this, if I go up to this little guy, which I did a review on some times back, it's called the Stomp Mix 4. And this is the brains that's in this system. So they took this, put it in here, and you've got an acoustic amplifier, and you've got the standalone mixer alone. So if you've got both, this is very convenient, because if you could fly with this, but if you didn't want to fly with this, you could actually just take this with you and have all your same settings, right? So a really good pair of things to have to go on the road with, or to just use at home. Okay, so jumping right in, the top of the display of the amp. So as you can see, we've got our display. We've got our 48 phantom power button here. You got the combo XLR 1/4-inch jack inputs. You have the secondary instrument inputs, and then you have, of course, your pads and your switches between mic and line and instrument. And then you have your 4 trim pots, and then of course your tweeter volume if you want that up and down, your main outputs, and of course your main mix for each of the channels. And then you have a mono button, you got a signal button to show level coming in, and if you're peaking too much, you got the red button. You've also got a high, mid, and low analog EQ, and then you've got a A button, a B button, and a page button, and a parameter button, and a system button, and an aux input, and a level pot for your headphones. Like, so much stuff going on, right? When I come into here, I want to make sure that I'm not overdriving the input. So I would go to my system, and right away I would see my input meters, right? And as you can see, both of my pickups are -12 or less. And that's what you're trying to shoot for. And you would control that by your trim pots. And here's my master output, okay? That's how you're going to set up your amp for anything coming into it. And you do the same for the microphone. If you plugged in your mic, you have the phantom power for either XLR or not. I've got a dual pickup system in this guitar. I've got a magnetic, and then I've got the built-in pickup. And as you can hear, I've got reverb and delay on the guitar. So I want to set that up so I can have independence on the pickups, right? So I'm going to go back to my main page here. And as you can see in channel 1, if I press channel 1, I can change my EQ, I can change the polarity of the pickup. I've got a notch filter, which I can change the frequency for, and I've also got a high pass filter, so very flexible that way. Now this little polarity switch right here, I'll explain in a minute, but it really is a very unique feature to make sure that you don't have phase cancellation when you're using multiple pickups, which is really important, and not a lot of systems have that on it. Now I've got mine engaged, and I'll explain in a second what. So if I go to the next page, if I press again, I then have a gate. I typically wouldn't use a gate, but I would use a compressor. So if you turn the compressor match, you can see it kicking in. But I'm just going to use it very, very little. And then it takes us back to our EQ again. And now the EQ, you can hear it's got plus minus or 12, plus minus 12, plus or minus 12, and then you can select the frequency you want for the mid-range, and then you've got the high, of course, as well. So pretty active EQ, and then you got the secondary analog EQ for the overall amp, right? Okay, so that is on each of the channels. So I go to channel 2, it's the same thing. Channel 3, channel 4, the whole works. So now I want to address the effects and have the effects independent on each of the guitar pickups, right? So the way I would be doing that is I would go back to my page, and I want to do it one pickup at a time, right? So I'm going to start off with muting the magnetic pickup and just deal with my built-in pickup, which I want delay on. I've already got that set up, but let me show you how I would do that. So I'm going to jump over to the page button and take me to the delay mix. And as you can see, channel 1 has delay. There's your volume for it. I've got delay a little bit. And then if I go to the parameter button, I can then change what I can do with that delay. So for example, if I want to have more repeats, I can do that. I can change the beat per minute, but I just want to have it at the one repeat and not much of it, right? So then I've got that set up for channel 1. Now I want to go back to my main page, and I will go back to my main mix, and I'm going to unmute pickup 2 and mute pickup 1. Now this is my reverb. So then I'm going to jump over to the page button again and dial into the reverb button. Now this, you can see you can have a different reverb for all the channels, and this is how you control them. So right now I've just got a little bit on channel 2. If I dial it off, nothing. Bring it back in, got my reverb. And then if I go back to the parameter button, I can then have my pre-delay, decay, tone, and shimmer. And the shimmer is very unique to an amplifier. I don't think I've ever seen a shimmer in another amplifier. So here you go. And it's a very subtle one. You can hear it. And this is the nice part about it, is it doesn't dominate the sound. It just sits nicely back in the mix. Okay, so I've got that set up. So I've got the reverb and the delay setting, and I'm going to go back to my main page, and I'm going to engage both pickups. So I hear the delay, hear the reverb with just a little bit of shimmer. I don't want to lose those settings, so how do I store that and save it in memory? And this is another great feature on the amp. So it gives you 10 memory slots to resave to. So let's go see how you do that. I'm going to go back to my main page. I'm at the main page, but I'm going to go to system setting. And again, you can see my input levels are fine. And I'm going to click that again, and that takes me to the memories location. And you get 10 slots to store to. And as you can see, I've currently stored in, I've got my sound stored in channel 1. Now if I wanted to go to channel 4 and recall it, if I push that, and here I've got basically nothing set up, right? So you have the memory slot, you got the recall button, the store button, and the clear button. So I'm going to go back to 1, and I'm going to recall it, and I'm back. Yay! That's pretty slick, huh? And I can do that in 10 different locations. Now, it gets better because getting to that, when you're doing a live performance might be a little bit tricky. So he gives you 2 buttons on the top of the amp, which is A, which will toggle through the things that you do have stored. It will toggle through those. So right now I've got 1, 4, and 2 that are all stored. So I'm going to go to 4, nothing, 1, and it's back. So it's very quick access. Now you can hook up a foot switch and access those 2 as well, just by using the foot switch, which makes it really, really cool. So it gives you a lot of flexibility for storing things in memory for different sounds that you want for different songs, right? As well as for your microphone. The microphone will always be on though, right? Now if you want to go to mono, there's a mono button. I don't kind of hear that difference with just the amp, but if you hook up a secondary speaker using the secondary outputs on the back of the amp, that's how you can probably kind of get a nice stereo sound. And as you can see, my signal is coming in fairly nicely. An output source, which would go from channel 1, 2, or just output 1. So you can have both selected that way. Now there's a level, in case you're sending something out, you can control the level of what you send out to somebody as well too. And now there's the monitor right out. So if you wanted to have that left and right stereo thing, you take that out, of course. And then of course it's if you have any ground problems, there's a balance lift right here, or lifts. And then you have your left and right balanced outputs in XLR, as well as the left and right out for output 2, as in 1/4 inch balanced TRS. And then of course here's your button to connect the charger with, which is sitting over there. So a very powerful little amp. I'd say in summary, incredible little amps, provides you all sorts of very unique features. To me, the unique features are, of course, being able to handle impedance from any type of guitar, being able to store things in memory, as well as having a shimmer effect, having EQ for each of the channel, having effects for each channel, and then having EQ for the amp overall. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. A powerful little amp, 80 watts of power, and as you can hear, it's pretty kicking. Sounds really great, right? And I will hook up the mic just so you can hear it. This is a phantom power mic, so I would power down the amp to do this, of course. And I pick up the microphone, just so you can hear that it actually works really well. And okay, so power up the amp. Nothing, right? Have to turn on the phantom power. Phantom power's on. Ta-da! And still I roll on down this long winding road. Every mile and every day, every night and every way. Still I roll on down, long lost down this crazy road. Every mile I find a place I can't call my own. Still all I find out. Well, I can stand on the corner, I could chill all day, and I don't even need a reason why. Well, I can drink Jack Daniels, stay up on the morning.